So sometimes in life, things happen and you can get frustrated with life in general. Like, everything you do is not working, everything you're trying is not working. And what I do when I see that things are not working, I basically start to talk to myself internally, because if that's all I have, then that's where I need to start speaking, like less with the action, more with the internal dialogue that I need to be having with myself, because things can change in any moment just by the way that you think. And if you're recognizing that you're speaking in a way to yourself that things are not going to work out, or you're just having like these patterns that are happening over and over and over again, and the way that you're thinking about that particular thing that is frustrating you or putting you in fear, you are thinking the same way about it. Maybe it's time to change how you think about that situation. And knowing that you have that power, because if it's a pattern, you've been feeling that same thing. So now something has to shift. You have to shift the way that you look at that particular situation. And that is what God is asking you to do, because the action is it. You don't need to do the action. You don't need to do the action. God is in many options on this planet, and it doesn't have to be worrying about things. Worrying doesn't need to be a thing if you've already worried about that thing in the same way. In the same way. So now you have the choice to tell yourself something new, that everything is going to work out for you in the greatest good. And you repeat that with yourself over and over and over again. Like today myself, like I haven't really been online and scrolling and stuff like that, because I'm not really interested in doing that today. And I just feel like sitting here. Sometimes you just gotta sit with yourself and not think about anything, just be present with you. And with no noise, no distraction, just natural noise. Just natural noise in your environment, like the washer machine is going right now. Natural noise. There's cars driving by, honking. Just natural noise. The birds, they're chirping. Natural noise. And sitting with yourself is allowing you to do those affirmations within you. And then when that same pattern, that same situation arises, say like a bill, a bill collector is calling you, and they call you, you tell them the same story, and because you are doing the work, because you're sitting with yourself and you're telling yourself a new story about how things can go in your life, that bill collector will basically work with you, or you don't have to pay for 2-3 months. They'll work with you because you're working with you and your emotion. And there's different situations. It could be someone where you're co-parenting with someone and you're seeing the same reaction with that parent that you are co-parenting with. And you decide to think differently about the situation because you already know what that person's going to say, what they're going to do, how they're going to react, what they're going to say. So you can change. You change how you view that situation. And when you do that, you come to another awareness about yourself. You're putting yourself more in the space of having faith. You're letting God take control, because what you've been doing and trying to be in control is not working. Like, there's only so much you can do without you involving God in the situations. Like, there has to be a deep understanding that people are not your God. They're not your God. They're a person just like you. But what helps you evolve is the way that you look at things, your perspective, your perception of the situation, and believing in yourself and telling yourself, like, things are going to work out. It will work out. It can. I know it's possible. It's happened before. I know there's been times where things have worked out for you and you didn't think that it like that could happen. But remember that time and remember the space that you were in. You might as well be in joy. You might as well. You might as well be in joy. And to not allow things to disturb you. So, yes. So working with your inner dialogue can definitely help you. And help you with the certain spaces that you may be moving through during difficult, challenging times. And the more you do this, the more that you will take control over your own emotions, and you're not allowing somebody else to control your emotions. And people can tell. They can tell when you're saying something from a neutral space, a space where you don't mean any harm, you're coming from love, you're not necessarily challenging them. They feel this within you. You can, like, there's something that can naturally happen within you when you are communicating with another individual. Your ego doesn't get in the way. You become unbiased, non-judgmental of yourself and the other person on the other end. And people can become more receptive of you. They may even hear you. They may hear you specifically than someone else. They may have heard the same thing from someone else, but they didn't want to hear it. They couldn't see it. They couldn't hear it. They couldn't even go there with that person. But because you've been doing the work internally within yourself, they're listening. Because your ego is not in the way. Your ego's not in the way. You don't mean any harm. You naturally have love for people. You naturally have love for yourself. And that energy spews off of you. And the energy of respect, the energy of boundaries. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell someone, respect my boundaries. They just know, because it's being embedded into you. Because you are doing the work with talking to yourself kindly. You deserve to be talked to kindly. You deserve to talk to yourself in a kind way. You heal when you talk to yourself in such a kind way. Your face changes, the way you look, your skin starts to heal when you talk to yourself in a kind way. You'll be surprised of how the world and the people you attract starts to come towards you once you understand that you truly love yourself, and that's all you got. I love y'all.